Over the past few decades, tankless hot water heaters like this Rene system behind me have become commonplace in a lot of new construction. A lot of people are switching over to them. You can even find them in RVs and camper vans and things like that. So today I want to show you how to flush one of these out. A lot of calcium and magnesium buildup occurs in the heat exchanger. So you're going to want to flush this out about once a year. And let me show you what you'll need right off of Amazon to get this job done. Now the one behind me here, this Rene, is a gas unit. Luckily we don't have to mess with the gas lines at all to get this job done. All you have to do is actually unplug it, and then we're going to mess with the water valves to get this flushed out nice. Now, if you have never done this before, fear not, it's really not that hard. It's very simple, and you can get kits like this right here that comes with a lot of items you might already have around your house, honestly. The biggest thing is the descaling agent right here. This is a biodegradable descaler flow aid. You're gonna need a 1-quart bottle of this to mix with water to dilute it. And then it comes, this particular kit comes with hoses, right? Now these hoses, if you look familiar, washing machine hoses, right? So you can actually just pick a lot of this stuff up off of Amazon. All the links will be down below for everything you need, the kit and all the separate items if you've seen individual items. This right here is actually a submersible utility pump. It comes from Drainax. A lot of them, there's a bunch of them on Amazon. You really can kind of just take a look as long as you know that you have a way to hook the hose up to it. This is going to make a circuit with the water. That way it's nice and cycling everything out. And this one comes with instructions, which I will help guide you through now. And of course, you'll need a bucket. This one comes with a bucket, but just like I said before, household items, 5-gallon bucket works great because you'll need something to put the water, the pump in, and the descaler in. First things first, as with any project with electricity, unplug that hot water heater. Now you'll notice here you have 2 isolation valves. I know that blue one's kind of tucked behind this right here, but there's a blue for cold, red for hot. Now these are usually pretty stiff, but you want to isolate, and you actually take a pair of pliers here, make sure that is nice and parallel to the ground, nice and closed off, and do the same with that blue one back here. Just get in there. All right, that one is shut off as well. Now these caps may be pretty tight, but you can see they simply just unscrew. And what we did with those isolation valves is now we completely shut off the unit from not only the power from unplugging it, but from water coming from the house. So now we should only have a little bit of water left in here. Some people say drain the water, some people say don't. I've seen a lot of plumbers go and just say leave it in there, flush it out with that circulation pump. With that water, saves a little bit of water. You're still gonna have to add water, but it's not a big deal if you leave it in there. It's not like it's dirty water, it's fresh water from the last time this was turned on. Hook up your washing machine hoses, hot to hot, cold to cold, or in reality, if you just have ones without any kind of color on them, just make sure that these are nice and seated tight and that you know exactly where they're going, because you're gonna need these. One is gonna go in the bucket, and of course the cold is going to be attached to the circulation pump. Tighten these up. It's important not to mess with any of the gas lines here. You don't want to really rest anything on here, and that goes for anything in your garage. You don't want to pile stuff on top of these hoses here. Obviously it's natural gas. You got to be careful around that, and this regulator is no exception. Now I'm going to take my bucket. Again, it could be the kit, it could be a 5-gallon bucket. Either way, it's got to at least hold a few gallons. Take my bucket, place it down, take my circulation pump, place it in the center bottom of the bucket, take the end of the cold hose, the cold one, put it in the discharge part of the pump, which looks just like that on this particular one. And again, twist this down nice and tight. You don't want any leaks. Now the whole point of this isolating of this tankless hot water heater is to make a closed loop system, because we're going to want to go and circulate that chemical with through the water all through the system, cleaning it all out and flushing it out. So now we're gonna take our hot water hose and we're gonna simply place it in the bottom of the bucket to complete that circuit. Now you wanna place it so it's nice and flat on the bottom. So it should look something like this. Red flat in the bottom, pump with the cold going into it. Add 1 gallon of fresh water to your bucket. Get that pump submerged about halfway. Then we add our descaler. Has a nice yellowish green hue to it. Right up top here is an inlet and an outlet flow valve. Might be a little stiff, but you want to open both of these up. This blue one, of course, is tight. There we go. Open them both up. You're gonna see some bubbles and some of that water coming down in here. Plug in your pump. I'm gonna let that circulate for about an hour. So we'll see you in 1 hour. It's gonna look pretty grimy, so just let it do its thing, work its magic, clean this out. 1 hour is up. Let's unplug this. Now that we're unplugged, flushed out, shut off the top valve for cold. I'm gonna take this blue hose, cold hose, and simply start unloosing it. You're gonna hear it, especially with gravity doing its work with the bucket down below. You'll hear a lot of the water pouring down. There might be a little bit in there, but not much. Now we take our pump, cold hose, let it dry out, dump out all the chemical water that's in the bucket. Once we remove that cold hose there, put the cap back on. We'll need to tighten those up nice. Use a wrench if you want. If you can't hand tighten all the way, you have your empty bucket. Put that back right there, because we're gonna take the hot water end, place it in the bucket. So with the hot hose in the bucket, ready to go, still open right here on the hot side, we want to open up the cold valve, which I made it a wrench for, maybe pretty stiff. Gotta find a good way to get back in here. Carefully, you don't want to chew it up or anything. We're going to want to flush it out. So we take cold water going into the system, pumping out through the hot. I'm going to fill this bucket up at least 3 times. Kind of see that there. We're flushing this out, getting all those chemicals out. It's pretty gross in there still, but you want to flush the chemical out, so you want to make sure this runs out clear. So do that a few times. Turn this off. I'm gonna do it with my hands this time. It is a little stiff. You can turn that off with your hand. Again, fill this bucket up about 3 times or until the water runs clean. Here's what you're dealing with, just 1 bucket filled. You can kind of see all the grime around the edges there. So that's why we're gonna be flushing this out. Even after using the descaling agent, make sure all those chemicals are out, because you don't want the chemicals going back into your house. Second time, a little bit cleaner. Third time, put the bucket on the ground, just get a little bit easier. This is the 4th time, looking even cleaner. I'll do it 5 times total. So you already have both valves closed on the cold. So on the hot, you want to close your control valve up top here. That way you can take off your hot hose like so. Of course, let all this dry out nicely before you put it away. Cover back up with your cap. And now you can plug back in the heater and open both valves. This one might need some help. That's really all there is to it. As you can see, you can easily do this at home with the proper tools from that kit. Again, links will be down below. You can even get a lot of this stuff over at Lowe's, but Amazon, of course, is convenient as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this process, hit them down in the comments below. Super easy, do it every 12 months. It's gonna help keep this running as efficient as possible. Typically, you'll see some hotter water coming out faster as well when it is clean. So keep up with the maintenance, as with all things, and it'll treat you well for years to come. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next review.